What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, asking the question today, has the Xbox One officially failed? Now, as a console, it's always been struggling ever since its rocky launch, but it still had a dedicated fan base. They're estimated to still be about 50 million people subscribed to Xbox Live, so clearly there are people that are out there engaged in playing on a daily basis, but now things have really begun to trickle off. You know your console is actually doing bad when it stagnates, when new people are no longer buying your console, any version of it, because in this new generation there's always all these different formats. While the Xbox One X isn't on sale yet, obviously, there's not even pre-order numbers, the estimations are abysmally low. I'll stand by the fact that the Xbox One is a good console. It's got cool games, it's got a cool controller, and it's got good infrastructure. It all comes down to one problem. There's just not any exclusives. Now, at this point, anything that's coming out is definitely coming out on PC as well, but even tossing that aside, there's just not a lot that's actually an Xbox exclusive. Nothing is just owned by Microsoft. If you look back at launch, they were bragging about all sorts of exclusives. Halo 5, Gears of War, Tomb Raider, every single month they had some project to talk about, but now, with the delay of Crackdown 3 and the cancellation of Scalebound, it seems like more and more people are talking about what you can't play on Xbox. Right now, I'm a professional reviewer. I'm always trying to look for that next project to talk about. I'm working on 2 reviews right now for next week. Both of them are PlayStation exclusives. Yakuza Kiwami and Uncharted The Lost Odyssey. Both of these are games that will never, ever be on a Microsoft device. And that's weird to think when I started to really look at my records and I realized that I actually hadn't reviewed a game on the Xbox in months. And I'm a person who loves the console. If someone like me can't do anything except multiplats, clearly you are strangling yourself. Microsoft is coming down to a really decisive point. They need to buy some really good exclusives or drowned. They need to get that excitement back. This is a bizarre situation overall because Microsoft does have billions of dollars. So if they wanted to announce something big and grand, they could. They could walk out on stage right now and claim to have Silent Hills ready and in development. They could say that they bought Metal Gear Solid. They could get these franchises. They could secure the rights, but they're not. Instead, it seems like they're happy with being a third-party only console. I also feel like there's a bit of a problem that they're not even trying to help these third-party developers. You know, in the Xbox 360 generation, Microsoft would physically go to these places and actually offer them some money for them to make exclusive content for their system. That's why you actually saw Skyrim content coming out first and then the PlayStation version coming out later. They would go there and say, hey, we have this many millions of people playing Call of Duty on our consoles, so we'll pay $100 million if you make 4 maps just for us. That may seem like a little bit of a dirty tactic, but it works. It gets headlines, it gets people talking, and most importantly, it gets YouTubers making content exclusively about your system. Stuff like Crackdown 3 and Gears of War 5 or Halo 6. All of that is cool, but it doesn't actually surprise anybody. I feel like that's such a major issue with the Xbox One, as much as I like playing it, I'm never actually impressed. It's just a system that's cool to play. Microsoft is really getting backed into a corner fast because they're not actually reaching out there and grabbing new stuff. They need to go out there and buy studios, buy ideas, and buy anything they can. They have money and they need to invest it. They need to walk out and actually bombshell us with something like Half-Life 3 being a console exclusive. If it's not something that big, I'm not sure it's really going to get the eyeballs it needs. It's time for the brains behind the Xbox to sit down and take a good hard look and study their competition. The Xbox One is doing fine. Numbers-wise, you only need a couple million units to stay profitable, but if you look at the PlayStation 4, with over 60 million units sold, that's not just because of people talking about it, that is because of their exclusives. Uncharted, Yakuza, all of these games, along with Persona, I could sit here all day long and mention titles like Bloodborne, huge, amazing projects that aren't necessarily being funded by Sony, but are helped by Sony. Each big game you get on your console could possibly convert another 100 or thousands of people into buying your gear. If these people aren't constantly adopting, then you're going to stagnate and fail. I really want the Xbox One to be successful, but it doesn't seem like they're willing to make the daring moves to grow and expand. They keep sitting there and waiting for something bigger and better to happen, and it just never does. You're in an age where you can't just have a great sequel, you need something big and different. Something that it just seems is farther and farther out of their reach. Well, what do you guys think about it? Let me know what your thoughts are on the current Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and possibly a someday Xbox 2. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I got a feeling hundreds of Xbox fanboys are going to bomb this video, so I want to actually thank you guys for watching this all the way to the end. I know you may be mad that I'm even talking about this subject, but I'm glad we have a little bit of mutual respect where you can fully hear me out before you call me an idiot loser with an ugly face. And it was a total dumpster fire. Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.